So, of course, Republicans are scrambling and rushing. They know their bill is terrible. They don't want the American people to see what's in it. Republican leaders probably don't even want their members to know what's in the bill, or else it'll never get done. There's no good reason for Republicans to chase a silly deadline. None. Even Donald Trump 2 hours ago admitted the July 4th deadline's a fake, and yet here they are, rushing to meet an artificial deadline, even though they know their bill is deeply flawed and harmful to their constituencies and their own politics. Republicans need to show some backbone and tell Donald Trump his bill is a disaster.
What's in the bill?
What could be in the bill?
Sounds like there's some really dramatic shit in this bill if Chuck Schumer has his way. Maybe there's what could be a Republican scary thing we have in a bill. Most of the scary things in the world are Democratic.
Duh.
America got me feeling like only communist things are scary. Is there anything about capitalism that is scary? No?
Oh, Amazon, Jeff Bezos' wedding in Venice.
That is a thing.
America got me. America got me like, whoa!
What? All right. Well, that's the first one. That was a. We had nothing to say there. Is there anything we had to say? So, recap. Big beautiful bill. Elon Musk said that Donald Trump was part of Epstein's Island, and then that was on the last episode. Now we're in like the beginning of the next episode, and we just found out that like the Republicans are like, shh, don't tell Donald Trump, but we're not going to give him his big beautiful bill by the 4th of July. And so now Donald Trump is starting to hear that, a little upset. And Chuck Schumer thinks there's some really scary things in the bill, but we can't even think of anything funny that could be in the bill that was scary. Because I don't know, like
Chuck Schumer's in the bill.
more funding for Israel. Oh no! More funding for Israel. Wait, isn't that every bill?
Yeah, more funding for the troops. That's in every bill.
Israel. All right.
No, more funding for like the actual troops. It's in every. All right, but just play the next clip. Debaking debunked. What is it?
It's like an AI headline. Debaking debunked.
Mr. President, you told the president of UVA. Did you push for the president?
Not you.
A related question on banking. There have been reports, Mr. President, that your administration is considering issuing an executive order about debanking, which is the practice of banks denying services based on people's political beliefs or industries such as crypto, people involved in that. Would you be open or interested to sign such an executive order targeting debanking, and what might that look like?
Well, I think the debankers, I think that banks, I can tell you because I've been a victim myself, because of my politics, that big banks were very nasty to us. And I actually think it was Biden's people that told them to be, because the one group of people the banks are afraid of are the regulators. They are petrified of the regulators. And I've seen the biggest banker. I can tell you, you see him on television all the time. If a regulator walked into the room, he gets all nervous and crazy. They're afraid of the regulators. And if the Biden people order the banks to be virtually closed, they can do anything they want. The regulators control the banks. It's not the president of the bank. The president of the bank is far less important to a bank than a regulator. And a regulator can put that bank out of business, just like bad prosecutors are very dangerous. You know, we had a couple. I had deranged Jack Smith and some others.
That's what they did to Kanye.
Mic drop. Enough said. That's how the president feels about debanking, and nobody has any fucking questions further.
He's getting more and more aggressive every day. Like, he said the F-bomb, and then now he's like, we're kicking their asses. He's like over there being like, not you. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, dude.
Just being like the dickiest of all dick men.
This man is done.
He's fucking.
He's just done with. He's tired.
Fucking left.
He's I've never seen somebody just so fucking over it. He's just like,
It's crazy because it's like Joe Biden.
not you. You suck. Who's next? Not you either. You fucking suck too. Everyone out. Everyone just get out.
It's like seeing the.
I need to think.
You're seeing like the end of the old man, like you know how you wither and die, but there's like two different ways. Like you got Joe Biden, and it's just like you just completely lose your mind, you lose all ability to like speak. And then the other way is like you remember everything and become cranky and annoyed and angry at everyone. It's like I don't know. Is dementia better or worse in this scenario?
This is genuinely a great man. Never had a drop of alcohol to drink in his life. Can't say that. Never smoked anything to be smoked. Can't say that either.
Well, don't say never, because even he in the book, in his
What, cigars or something?
no, fuck, what is it called? The Art of the Deal. He talks about having a drink with Roy Cohn. When he met Roy Cohn, they forced him to have a drink with him.
Oh.
So it's like, so technically he did. He had one drink in his autobiography, and he was forced to have it.
But I feel like, okay, well, for a second I was like, all right, so he's lying. But now I'm like, I feel like I would prefer to spend the rest of my life saying I've never had a drop to drink rather than saying I've never had a drop to drink, except this one time where this guy, Roy, he wouldn't let me say no. And here's the thing, what I really need to be understood, because I over-contextualize all my stories so that all it can be understood. Nah, I don't give a fuck anymore. This dude's been through so much. He's been dragged. The FBI, the CIA tried to fucking chokehold him. And
Lover now. They assassinated him too many times. Now
oh yeah, they tried to shoot him.
Yeah, forget about that part.
There were like 3 different assassination attempts.
3, yeah, right?
Yeah, there's one that happened in like Las Vegas that they like don't know whether to count it or not. This guy had all these guns and he was trying to get into the Trump rally, and it was like all signs pointed to this is not good. This guy intends to fucking do something wrong. He was arrested, apprehended, but the thing is, he got through like he got through too much security. Yeah, and then this is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. It was like the police chief of Las Vegas or something. This is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Where like, he too, a man who had heard enough. He was just done. It was so stressful. And they luckily caught the guy. They had a press conference and someone was trying to be nitpicky and they were saying, so it's your interpretation. It's your opinion that an assassination attempt was about to occur, but how do we really know that? And he had a breaking moment. He was like, said something like, either way, shouldn't we all be more concerned about a man trying to like enter a public venue with many, many people around with like all these guns? In what world do we live in where that is not the takeaway and that is no longer what we are focused on? In what world do we live in where like we're picking apart whether or not it's an assassination attempt rather than saying this is a human life that could be on the line?
Well, yeah, but it honestly, we've already decided as a society we really don't care. It is always politics, because look at this whole Iran thing. It's like everyone agrees. Every country, even China, even Russia agrees. Even Hezbollah, the people that were fighting in the Middle East, agree. Iran is a religious tyrant nation that's isolated and alone by itself, and no one wants it to have nuclear missiles. So we all agree. And then we drop bombs on it, and then the only fucking thing that anybody wants to do is sit there and have a bickering match over whether it's obliterated or destroyed or this, that, because it's like it just then becomes the debate of like, well, Trump's evil, so be on team. We didn't blow it up completely.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that?
You know
what
what?
does that prove?
Like, as Donald Trump said, the men in those fighter pilots, when they got home and they saw CNN, they felt terrible. They said, what? They had to wonder, well, then, did we even do what we set out to do? And they had to question that. These guys fighting for our country, for our freedom, CNN hurt their feelings.
Well, I think,
and that's on CNN. You know what? For real.
Yeah.
Dude, I might sue CNN for this outrageous.
For their like their feelings. Like it's pretty.
It's just not how you treat other people.
Ben the warmonger. CNN was there first. CNN showed us Iraq. CNN led the invasion in the Gulf.
And we get that. And we like it. And we respect it. But CNN...
our backs on the bombs. They say, well not good enough. Not big enough. What is good enough, CNN?
You really hurt these guys' feelings.
Do you need a nuke? Do you really need a nuke from CNN to like knock it off?
It's really not okay. And it's not cool to be a bully like that. And if I mean, you owe these men an apology. If you had the level of integrity that would take, then I doubt you do. But seriously, I have to side with the underdog at all times. And sorry, what you did to these men and their confidence and their self-esteem is not all right.
We need a new Team America World Police.
That was them. CNN crushed their spirits.
It's crazy.
America, fuck yeah. More like America.
Cry. It hurts.
America, fuck yeah.
Yeah, really?
But
maybe.
Fuck yeah, how much?
Try again.
Fuck yeah, obliteration, or fuck yeah, mostly destroyed. And
let's debate it tonight on whether Trump is evil.
Based on these preliminary reports, we're ready to come out and say, Trump failed, failure. Ha! Gotcha. Guess what? You weren't just hurting Trump. You weren't just throwing stones at a glass Trump tower. You were throwing stones at a glass Trump tower, encasing some true American heroes, and you hit them square in the face.
Yeah.
And they need nose reconstructions. And the glass came down and it split their skin 1,000 cuts. And then they cried. And obviously the tears, the saline, that burned. So, and then you lassoed them and hogtied them and drug them through the streets. And I mean, CNN.
What?
You know what? Their hearts were encased in a glass Trump tower, and you dragged their hearts through town square. And it's not enough that you tarred and feathered them. It's like you retard and feathered them over and over. Where does the retardation stop, CNN?
Like literal retarded. Like retarded. Like California.
You tarred them once. You tarred them twice. You tarred them thrice. What's a
thrice tarded?
I don't even.
Try retard.
What's a fourth?
It's a try retard. You haven't heard of a try retard.
Where does the retardation end?
Your social post on Canada specifically. Why are you deciding to end trade talks with Canada, and what rate are you looking to set?
So Canada put a charge on some of our companies, and Canada's been a very difficult country to deal with over the years. we hear Canada, we have a great relationship with the people of Canada, but it's been very difficult. And they put a charge, and they were a little bit early. We found out about it. So, and we have all the cards. We have every single one. We don't want to do anything bad, but they have economically, we have such power over Canada. I'd rather not use it, but they did something with our tech companies today, trying to copy Europe. They copied Europe. It's not going to work out well for Europe either, and it's not going to work out well for Canada. They were foolish to do it. So I said, we're going to stop all negotiations with Canada right now until they straighten out their act. Okay?
Is there anything Canada can do to change your mind about this situation?
Well, no, they put a tax on companies that were American companies that they shouldn't, very severe tax. And, I guess they could remove it. They will, but it doesn't matter to me. We have all the cards. We do a lot of business with Canada, but relatively little. They do most of their businesses with us. And when you have that circumstance, you treat people better. They've had farmers that are getting like 300, 400, 200% in tariffs. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. We have cases, you don't read this and the people don't report, but they charge us 400% on some dairy products. 400%. Nobody writes that. It's not fair to our farmers, and we've got to protect our farmers.
I didn't know that maple syrup was a dairy product until just now.
We gotta protect our farmers. That's all I know. Did you hear that? We gotta protect our farmers. We started with Canada.
Well, no, they're taxing us, but again, like
We ended on strong note. We gotta protect our farmers in any event.
But they're saying that they're tariffing us on their dairy products, 400%. Their dairy products are maple syrup.
Talk to me about Canada. I'm gonna talk to you about how we need to protect our farmers and our troops.
Talking about Canada, let's talk to you about Canada.
I'm glad you brought up Canada because I'd love to talk about how we need to protect our farmers.
Speaking of Daddy is putting a spend.
Speaking of Daddy,
on Canada, he really is. He really is turning Canada around and saying, nope, it's time for the paddle.
I swear the only thing I took away was the last thing says we need to protect our farmers. I don't even know how we got there, but I couldn't agree more. And I'm glad someone said it.
Kelly's so conservative. She can't possibly make a joke about this. She feels so passionately.
I grew up on a farm.
About Canada tariffs.
When I think of farms, I think of my mom, my grandfather, my grandfather's father. I think of a long legacy of farms, and I think that Trump is on our side.
If we didn't lower the cost of maple syrup for these farmers.
You better get used to
Pancakes without fucking sugar.
that'll never happen. Refined sugar. We'll make our own stuff.
Well, here's the thing. There's an intersection happening here.
We're gonna engineer our own
RFK
syrup.
Getting rid of the high fructose as we're losing fucking syrup to Canada. So like we can't go all natural and also fake. Like we're getting rid of the fake, but then we're
Why are you
getting rid of the
pulling
natural.
threads, you fucking traitor?
I'm just
Fucking
saying,
traitor.
which one are we going for first? Like, do we need to end the trade embargo with Canada and make sure that we get maple syrup back so that we can have non-artificial GMO like sugar paste for fucking breakfast? Or do we just go straight up fuck you RFK? We're going back to the Aunt Jemima because fuck Canada and we don't give a shit about your goddamn tree.
I'd say focus it explicitly on workarounds. So like 3D printing syrup, like
That's true.
save the bees,
Didn't even think about that.
get the bees on the syrup, put the bees in, get the bees in coniferous forests.
be a fucking shirt for us. Get the bees on.
Can you call 911? I don't think I'm doing too good, dude. Forests. Forests. Get the bees to work on syrup.
They're already fucking doing that, honey. Just get the bees to work on Sam. So we're gonna deal with fucking Canada.
AI syrup.
Like, yo, bees, can you do syrup?
Like space moon rock syrup. I can keep going. We can.
Well, with his Neuralink, can definitely get the bees to do the syrup.
When are we gonna watch my man serving some real shit? And you know what I'm talking about. I want to see my cool guy.
What, your mom?
Hell yeah. Yes, dude. I don't know why we didn't open with it. I knew this is what I said.
My favorite segment.
Okay.
It's time. The guy, the myth, the legend. The entire algorithm is painted in his favor on our Instagram page. It is Senator Kennedy with another zinger.
Oh my God.
This time,
I'm such a big fan, dude.
this time it's on Fox News, and he's talking about a black Supreme Court justice.
Uh-oh. Which one? Just kidding.
But don't you worry. The anchor on Fox News is also a black woman, so that's how conservatives roll.
You know what was so funny? I was watching like MSNBC or CNN, and it was the group chat.
Yeah.
Is that on CNN?
Group chat. Yeah, they do it on all.
Okay, so
The panel.
it was
Oh, the group chat.
black, white, black, white, black, like a chessboard.
That sounds really. That's like what's up to see.
I was like, how wonderful. They distributed them evenly as well, but with a heavier concentration on diversity. 40-60, leaning towards diversity. Okay, let's watch our homeboy, our this beautiful man.
The Supreme Court has turned the universal injunctions into fish food, as well it should have. There's no basis in statute. There's no basis in Supreme Court precedent. There's no basis in English common law for universal injunctions. Judges who just dislike what Congress and any president has done, just made them up. And good riddance. I'm proud of the Supreme Court. It's a very extensive ruling. You can tell it from Justice Jackson's dissent. She's mad as a bag of cats, and that's probably a good thing for the American people.
Look, we're expecting to hear from the president just moments from now.
As mad as a bag of cats. This man is a thesaurus of fucking slang from the 50s.
It's so good. He never runs out. I've never heard him use the same one twice.
That's true. Doesn't use the same joke twice. He is doing better than most.
If we're wrong, we wouldn't say no to a compilation.
And to be honest, like the first one, the big one that went viral, the 3.8 million, like that's you gotta be smart on your feet. The like NBC reporter's like, NBC's here on the right, and he's like, that's an unusual position for NBC. And then everybody in the room laughs, and then she goes, I don't get it, and he goes, you wouldn't. It was like they fucking set it up. And from that moment, I was keen on Kennedy.
It's so good. For me, it was there was like a congressional hearing, and what was he was trying to quote like one of the cell phone commercials.
Yeah.
Do you remember this? I can't even remember. Oh fuck. He was like, have you ever heard the phrase? And then he like says the slogan, and the person's like, no.
You're really good at retelling that one.
Cut this out. I thought it would come to me while I was talking about it.
No.
It's like, yo, Gabba. Fuck. Yo, Gabba Gabba. I'm still just thinking about Jeffrey Epstein Island. I never stop thinking about Jeffrey Epstein Island.
Trump is stunned that the Ayatollah said that Iran won the war. Stunned. Shocked.
Our news is starting to look a lot like Iran's.
Concerned at all about secret nuclear sites in Iran? You talk about maybe just
Secret nuclear site?
yes, that there might be some of
Not really. Can I tell you? They're exhausted. And Israel's exhausted too. And I dealt with both of them. And they both wanted it settled, both of them. And we did a great job, but they're exhausted. The last thing they're thinking about right now is nuclear. You know what they're thinking of? They're thinking about tomorrow, trying to live. It's such a mess. It's such a mess. The place was bombed to hell. And no, I'm not worried about it at all. And I'm putting out a little statement. I'm going to respond to the Ayatollah's statement yesterday that we won the war. Oh, God, we won the war. And I said, look, you're a man of great faith, a man who's highly respected in this country. You have to tell the truth. You got beat to hell. And Israel was beat up too. They were both beat up. And it was a great time to end it. It was quick. They got the hate out. There was a lot of hate, a lot of hate. It would be great if they didn't have that hate. But the last thing they're thinking about is nuclear weapons right now.
I don't think they got all the hate out.
Did you see that their parliament, like the next day, went to go vote, and at the end of the vote, they did the chant, the death to Israel, death to America chant. Like 400 members of the Iranian parliament, and they're all chanting death to Israel, death to America after the first vote, which the vote was to stop NATO from investigating the nuclear attack. So I don't think they got it all out. I don't think they...
Come on, guys. You can't take a joke. Just funny pranks.
The thing is that, like, while all the other presidents were warmongers, like, Trump might actually use the nuke. I think he's the first one that, like, if you really pissed him off enough...
I don't.
You don't think you do it?
No.
I mean, he's justifying a lot right now. And he's getting really angry that they're not just shutting the fuck up.
Yeah, I would too. I'd actually be so angry and annoyed. Especially
And you don't think that he'll
if
90,000 people for it?
no.
I think he could. I think he's got it in him. I don't think you have enough faith in Daddy Trump here.
Yeah, I don't.
He could do it.
You're right. I don't.
He can take out Tyrant.
Yeah.
Boom!
If only everyone had enough faith in him.
Stupid street markets. Bulldoze the whole fucking thing. Put a Dunkin' Donuts up. Don't fucking hire anybody. Line out the fucking door. Just like America. Never get your sandwich. You ever gotten a sandwich at Dunkin' Donuts? You ever tried to go to Dunkin' Donuts and then, like, actually gotten the Dunkin' in the donuts? Because it feels really weird. It feels weird even ordering at Dunkin' Donuts, because just like Five Guys, you know everybody that's there was in prison 3 hours ago before the shift started. And then you're like, do I deserve this food? Then you're like, well, I'm paying for it. I'm paying like almost double what I normally would have paid for it. And then this prisoner is making you feel all bad about it. She just don't want to fucking do shit because she's looking at her phone, and she only gets to look at her phone when she's at work, because otherwise she goes back to prison.
Yeah, it sounds like you have some real problems.
All I'm saying is, like, we really need Dunkin' Donuts to start working, or for just something Iran.
Nailed it. Took a little journey. started with one thing.
Came back? Came swinging back?
Just
No.
grazed racism. Just some casual light racism. Brought it around back to what I wish I were eating right now. No. What are you going to do?
Trump. Crypto is a great thing for America.
Fuck. Don't tell anyone.
Many Democrats have said that they are not going to support crypto bills in Congress only because of you and your family's personal crypto ventures. And these votes are in some cases needed to pass. Are you open to the idea of pulling away from your personal crypto ventures just for the next few years if that helps get these crypto bills passed in the next few months?
Well, it's a very funny thing, crypto. So I became a fan of crypto, and to me, it's an industry. I view it as an industry, and I'm president. And if we didn't have it, China would, or somebody else would, but most likely China. China would love to. And we've dominated that industry. It's a big industry, by the way. In fact, when the stock market went down recently, crypto and Bitcoin and all of that went down much less than anybody else as a group. And we've created a very powerful industry, and that's much more important than anything that we invest in. We invest in it, but really that was an industry that wasn't doing particularly well. I got involved with it a couple of years ago, and before the second term, I got involved before I decided to run. I only decided to run because I saw what was happening, and Biden was incompetent, and the administration was crooked and incompetent. And I was in Bitcoin then, not knowing if I was going to do it a third time.
All right. I know. I have the answer. I know exactly what to do. Okay. So everyone, listen to me. If you really want to stick it to the man, download a crypto app, Coinbase, whatever you like. Go and buy Trump coin now. Inflate the price, and then I'm gonna sell all the Trump coin I have right now, and then I'll be looking good. I bought so much right before, like at a pretty stable point in the price, and then World War III started to happen, and my main concern, I said, oh no, my crypto. And what I need everyone to do now is to stop talking shit about him, love him again, go buy his crypto, get it up to like $12+ just for like a day.
Kelly, you're not supposed to tell everyone about your rug pull. You're supposed to just tell them to buy it, and then you sell it. You're not supposed to tell them that you're gonna sell it.
I'm honest.
But then why would they want to buy it?
Because I am an honest, good Christian American girl.
Crypto GoFundMe.
And because the joke wasn't going to make sense if I didn't say something, but also I'm wanting everyone to like Trump again and buy his fucking crypto and bring the price back up, baby. Please.
Now I know this.
Crypto's legit though, but don't tell anyone.
My advice,
Just keep
spend your fucking money and have fun.
just keep having a traditional checking account and savings account, and even a high yield savings account that will give you a 4% return on your investment.
Spend your money. Don't be getting just spend your money.
Yeah, and don't worry about crypto. It's probably not for you.
PayPal allows you to like spend more money than you have. So 2-3 days.
Honestly, I don't know what's better for me, if more people use crypto or if they don't and like don't figure out how good it
If
is.
you make a whole bunch of online transactions on a Friday, you can leverage your entire weekend to be awesome and not have to worry about any of the money financially until Monday. That's another nice, easy tip.
I'm going to need to be heavily involved in the editing process at this point. I need to look up which will benefit me more, and then we need to reshoot all of what I just said.
It's not gonna happen. It's all gonna be in the podcast.
I quit.
It's not a podcast.
I quit.
Edit the podcast.
I quit.
How important is the July 4th deadline to you? If
It's important. It's not the end all.
August?
It can go longer, but we'd like to get it done by that time, if possible. And look, we have a lot of very committed people, and they feel very strongly about a subjects that you're not even thinking about that are important to Republicans. The problem we have is that it's a great bill. It's a popular bill, but we'll get no Democrats only because they don't want to vote for Trump. If that bill was their bill, oh, they would be so happy. It's so great for our military. It's great for everything. And they would normally vote, but because their hatred of Trump, they have Trump derangement syndrome at levels never seen before. And instead of voting for a tax cut, they're voting for a tax increase of 68%. They're voting to destroy Social Security, destroy Medicare, and destroy Medicaid. And we're voting to make them perfect and to make them better, make them stronger and better. They're going to destroy Medicaid and they're going to destroy Medicare, and Social Security will follow. If you vote for the Democrats, you're dead on those three things.
Sir. Here are American politics summed up in a nutshell. They're going to get rid of Medicare. We're going to make it better. They're going to destroy your health care and make sure that you have no legs. We're going to give you cyborg legs. Vote for me. Both sides. Like,
Any questions?
Fucking dead. Like, is there... I've been hearing this thing about the fucking getting rid of the fucking men. Like 10 years. It's just like, stop. Stop giving Israel money and stop thinking we give a fuck about healthcare. We're killing the CEOs. We don't care about your fucking healthcare. It's the weirdest thing. They always are like, dangling, we're going to do more for your healthcare. You should vote for us because your healthcare. None of us have healthcare. None of us have healthcare. And the little healthcare we do have, we have to pay for everyone else's healthcare. And both Trump and Biden and Elon Musk and everyone else is perfectly fine with that as they get on their fucking flights and go to Jeff Bezos' fucking wedding. Fucking wedding. That fucking wedding, man.
Who is on the guest list? Is it all of them?
The 100 biggest fucking assholes. We hate them.
Who's that? Start with number one.
Let's see. You know who will give us a good detailed list of this?
TMZ said that their wedding invitations were ugly. And then they also said, no, they're nice because they're designed after her lower back tattoos. And that was a great joke.
But, all right. Google's about to give us the low-key lowdown on all the Amazon bullshit. Because you know who wasn't at that wedding? The two Indian dudes in charge of Google.
Oh, neither were us.
All right. Oprah Winfrey, Kim Kardashian, Ivanka Trump, Tom Brady, Bill Gates,
Wow.
Queen Renita of Jordan, Leonardo DiCaprio, Orlando Bloom, Khloe Kardashian, Kylie Jenner, Kendall Jenner, Kris Jenner, Gail. You mean we could have just taken out the Kardashians this way?
You also could just put like Oprah and Gail.
And the Trump. Whoa. Oprah and Gail. They're just friends.
Did it say
They're just
Donald and Eric Trump?
I think it is.
Well then,
Jared Kushner. Ollie Goldwyn.
wait, can you go back up a little bit?
Sydney Sweeney? Why the hell is she there? Just show up.
Sydney's.
Hey, my tits were invited as well. It's like a fucking South Park fucking invite. Usher? What the fuck? Why is Usher there? Usher also took bribery money from fucking Kamala Harris bullshit. Because I remember Usher was up there like right as also P. Diddy getting off. Can we just break into this real quick? P. Diddy is definitely fucking getting off. In more than one way tonight.
Why?
Well, they dropped 3 of the charges.
Really?
They dropped racketeering. They
No, they didn't.
Sexual extortion. So basically,
Why?
the only thing they can get him on is if there was an actual assault between him and Cassie now. Which is no different than any boyfriend. So
Like the one that they had on camera.
Hey.
Just asking.
Also, Kanye and Diddy's son dropped an album together.
It slaps.
It's just the wildest story in the world.
I've listened to all of it a dozen times.
Because we're the only ones that are fucking putting out a pod on Friday night. Every other podcast this week covering shit all the way up through Thursday did not get to cover this. And I feel
What did Boys Cast say?
Boys Cast
remind me
at the point where they gave the 3 drop charges. But then Brian was making
Boys Cast also went to the fucking courthouse or the trial.
And like became like they were the center of the
You walked to
fucking wild.
Insert a clip of it here.
But it's also in the bio. You can check out the whole thing because it's a brilliant 15-minute segment. It's like
people just being like
essentially be.
He literally walked onto the steps, and for some reason, the defense attorney came out and talked to him, gave him a full interview. Other people were like, nobody ever thought to do that. What the fuck? He's just like, oh really?
Oh, okay.
It's my first day doing this.
But Ryan on the Boys Cast also mentioned, he was like, oh, well, yeah, like if P. Diddy gets out, he should do like an album with Tekashi 6ix9ine and like fucking R. Kelly or something. And I'm like, little did they know.
Well,
Diddy's son and Kanye were dropping these bangs.
Let it be known, when Alex texted me about this last night,
minutes after the tweet from, well, I actually got because I like have like the fan tweets on Twitter. And I actually got like a fan Twitter was like, said it was real, showed a screenshot of it on Tidal. And I was like, this is crazy. Send it to her. And then was trying to verify it as the Kanye tweet came up to like verify that he had done the album. And I was like,
the first thing I said was, wow. And I had literally thought to myself, I don't know how things could get much worse than the whole Iran thing. And I don't know why I had to tempt fate. Then I listened to the whole album, of course. I also typed that while listening to the Diddy Free. Is that what the track is called? Listening to that the first time. And now it's just a distant memory at this point because the whole album slaps so hard. It's
You thought you could, like humming, you're like, God damn it, Kanye.
Yeah.
You thought that was the end of the rope.
Hi, Hillary.
Comes in with a fucking free Diddy song with Diddy's son on the eve of the trial fucking verdict. That's crazy. Why would you do that? Nobody.
That's how it all says, always on Diddy, bro.
Both going fucking crazy. Like the prosecution's like, that's it. Lock him up. Look what he fucking did. And the defense is having to like back into a corner. Oh my God, no, we have no part in that. It's just his son. That has nothing to do with it. We're not
Where's that Diddy bro?
like dropping a Kanye album the night before the verdict.
I want to hear it.
Diddy free. Yeah, I can play it.
Intermission. I can play it. It's lit, dude. It's lit. It's on. It's on.
That's wild that it's literally the song you're listening to.
In my apartment, jamming out, listening to it for the 50th time, and then I had to pause it halfway and say, I gotta record, man. I gotta go and record the pod.
Hey.
They try to play the victim, outspoken, shit in. W's in the chat, a nigga winning.
Wow.
Right now, head still spinning. $1 million smile, got them grilling me. They be taking shots, they can't shoot me.
Motherfucker's such a good producer.
Fuck the world, critics ain't no witness. Face clean, ain't trying to dirt the image.
No challenges for himself. I'm gonna make a Diddy record.
Was literally talking to someone on the phone about this earlier, and he was like, "Oh yeah," and all this crazy like Nazi Heil Hitler stuff, and I was like, "He's evolved past that. He is on the next. He's already crossed the next 6 tiers of what you shouldn't say, and
It's wild. Yeah, Kanye.
play my boy, play my cool man, please, play my cool man." Walking away from what are you waiting for?
It's not there. We're not there yet. We're almost there.
I don't know what you mean.
Since I've become a member of Congress since 2021, we have voted on 22 resolutions for Israel. 22 of them. All kinds of resolutions, denouncing anti-Semitism, supporting Israel. We voted on 22 of those. We never vote on resolutions proclaiming great things about America or defending certain Americans or defending Americans in general. But we have voted on 22 resolutions in the House defending Israel.
How many of you voted yes on?
I don't know my exact record. The last one I voted no on, and then the one before that I voted present because I just started getting sick of it.
Well, that's kind of it. I mean, I've always noticed this, certainly in the last, I don't know how many years it's been, a while, where Republicans in the Congress are, always talking about Israel. I'm not against Israel. I've always liked Israel, so haven't really noticed it. Okay, fine. Love Israel, love any country, whatever. But it feels like something has changed. Like why? And clearly it has for you. What is that thing?
Well, I think here's the situation. It's coming to a point where it's so obvious all the time in everyone's language, the social media posts they put out, the statements that they make. They have to proclaim Israel. They have to proclaim their faith and loyalty in Israel and how they, Israel is our greatest ally. And it's a statement that has to be made over and over and over again, to the point it's becoming like, wait a minute, what about our own country? What about our own people? And we have so many problems here in America, and we talk about this all the time. $37 trillion in debt. Just like you and I were speaking before, our kids' generations. My kids are 22, 25, and 27. And our children's generation, they can't afford rent. They can't afford to buy a house. They can't afford insurance. They can't buy a new car. They can't find a good paying job. They're living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, credit card bills stacked up. And they literally look to the future going, how am I ever going to realize the American dream? And it seems hopeless for them. But then in Congress, everyone is chasing and pursuing and proclaiming their loyalty to a foreign country.
America has been funding Israel for quite some time, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson. So, Kelly, explain to us, why is America tied to Israel? Why do we care about Israel? And how do we break free? Do this while I, dry my clothes.
Well, first of all, her spray tan looks great and her bleach blonde touch up looks amazing. What she said about her children is true. They will not be able to afford houses. They will not be able to, well, probably them will. But the rest of us, I could probably afford some real estate in Palestine. And then I could have a few Jewish tenants. Well, on like the east side. They're not there yet. America. Which side is the better side? Well, from east to west, sounds like they're all starving. Did we? I don't know. JK. I mean, Jesus Christ. Dude. Oh man. Israel reminds me of my crazy sister who I can't talk to because it's it's just like, you don't want to give up, you know. You've had this relationship your whole life, but they just keep upping the ante as well. They just keep doing one crazy thing after another, and the craziness capitalizes on itself. And then you kind of get to the point where...
And that's exactly why we need to just bomb Israel as well. I completely agree. If we dropped bombs on Israel...
Calm down.
Then they would fucking knock it off too.
No, that's not how you deal with this kind of situation. What you got to do is... you gotta cut them off. You gotta let them deal with their own problems, face their own consequences. Stop sending them money. Stop enabling. And, just like how it always happens in history and in the Bible, just like let them get fucked up and almost ruined, and then let them say, we learned our lesson, and then kind of step in and be like, all right.
Says that Iran violated the peace agreement and the ceasefire agreement. Do you believe that Iran is still committed to peace?
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Are you questioning if Israel is committed?
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Do you have to respond to Iran?
Right. For sure. Absolutely right. And it probably has nothing to do with like the immense amount of stress like being forced to endure. Goodness. I mean, we had the ceasefire and then Israel just turned around and fucked it up right away. I'd be mad too. I would be so mad. This was so human, honestly.
Especially after you help him out. Because the thing is, he looks at this as an actual chess match. He is actually in charge. America is a business, and he is making an authorization. So he's like, I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
This is so daddy. He's just like, he's trying to get all his kids in order, and then god damn it, one of them, fuck.
Which gets to the better point, which is from daddy to daddy to daddy to daddy.
Oh shit, wait.
The fucking daddy like
Israel is literally Trump's Biden. Hunter. Hunter is Israel is literally Trump's Hunter Biden. He's like, please.
Except Trump doesn't have a Hunter Biden.
God. Yes, he does. It's Israel. Israel is crashing out and demanding that crack be delivered to the White House. And Trump is like, yeah, no, I thought I was helping. I thought I was doing a good thing. I thought that they were doing better. And I was, I was letting them stay the night before they went to treatment. And
Haley threw a gun in the fucking dumpster.
So yeah.
But daddy syndrome. NATO, head of NATO calls Trump daddy. Media turns into a circus at the NATO summit about like, why did he call you daddy? Did you hear that he calls you daddy? Trying to make it a big issue. Trump pushes in, goes, well, I like that he called me daddy. It's all good. Leaves the summit, and then the real daddy kicks off, which is the White House drops an Usher fucking Instagram reel of daddy's home. And that is it. And did you see the daddy's home?
No.
Oh my God. The daddy.
Is this it?
Somebody say, hey, gotta know what you like.
Okay.
This is America.
This is America, but also
This is the funniest thing I've seen since he walked out to Many Men by 50 Cent after he got shot.
okay, so here's the thing. We went down the rabbit hole here. We watched Trump go out at UFC, Too Many Men, as well as I showed Kelly that the week that Trump got shot or almost assassinated in Pennsylvania, I did a Many Men Instagram where I ran 6 miles from the parking lot that was public all the way up to Mar-a-Lago and back.
So cool.
But
I'm so glad you showed me that.
no, but here's the thing.
No, so cool. So relevant to what we're talking about. Oh no, I'm just really glad you pulled it up. I'm really glad you took the time. And, no, for real. It was so fascinating. We were talking about Trump and then go ahead. I'm sorry.
Give me it. Okay, so listen.
Yeah.
So Many Men.
You got it.
Was muted when we went to my reel running. And there's a reason that it was muted. It's muted because 50 Cent didn't want Trump to use this song. And he didn't want Trump to use this song so much. He's such a liberal that he literally pulled the song from Instagram Reels so that no one can ever use it, so that any reference to Trump's assassination with Many Men will never be seen by him because he's 50 Cent and he will not tolerate this nonsense. Meanwhile, Trump was able to legally walk out to Many Men, but only at a public event, which was UFC, where you're allowed...
RNC.
No, that was at UFC, wasn't it? Was it a UFC?
It was RNC.
Oh, that was RNC? Well, anyway, it was a public event where there's a rights clause with politicians. You can pay $200. You can use any song you want. Does not matter. Nobody can sue you for a public event to use the song in the background. So he was able to use it there, but that was it, ever. Now coming back to the new song that we were just talking about, Daddy's Home, Usher. Usher literally went out for Kamala Harris in Atlanta, was like, gotta vote for Kamala. 2 weeks before that, he was on The View saying, I would never endorse a public candidate on October 12th. On October 17th, in between those two things, he was indicted in the Diddy case.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Got the fucking Kamala endorsement on October 26th.
Then Trump won. He said, actually,
You think that?
Trump,
You think that?
I always liked you. I'm your friend. Don't release those files. Don't release the Diddy files. Don't release the Epstein files. Don't release any files. Trump, we're friends. Take my song.
Not releasing the Justin Bieber Usher sex tape is if I can use Daddy's Home for free. And he goes, what does Usher say? Usher says, Daddy's home, Daddy's home. Mr. Kennedy dropped into CNN after going on Fox News.
It was a early partial assessment taken out of context. I kind of like, this is what I took away from it, Casey. If you look at one of the memos that a member of my staff wrote to me about provider tax and the bill, and the reconciliation bill, and from that you tried to extrapolate how I was going to vote on the bill, you would likely be in error. I think this was an intentional leak by somebody who wanted to do harm to this administration, by somebody who probably has a history of disappointing his parents. And it got a lot of press coverage. I understand the press is going to cover this sort of thing, but I really do think it was not accurate, and it was taken out of context, at least based on what I was told today. And I believe Rubio. I believe General Kane. I believe.
Everybody makes mistakes. Just ask your parents.
Fuck, man.
God damn. God damn.
He never misses.
God damn, Kennedy. God damn, Senator Kennedy.
Kennedy never misses.
You're going to make a boy kill himself, man. You're going to ruin a young man's life with them words one day. Wait, play the rest of it. Finish him.
Are they going to limit intelligence sharing with Capitol Hill out of this?
Well, they didn't seem to be doing it today. I think they're going to continue to share intelligence with our relevant committees. But I think I think this leak spooked them. I don't blame them. I mean,
Do you think it came off the Hill?
I don't know. I have no idea. My guess is it came. No, I really don't, honestly. But I shouldn't have said that. But that's what my gut tells me. I just think this was done in a way to try to hurt the president. And I get politics. I've seen the good side and the dark side. But it wasn't a good time. I mean, the country needed to. This was a successful strike, I can tell you. If you're against Iran having a bomb, and you can slice it and dice it any way you want to, but that's the bottom line.
Gosh, CNN, you're really fucked up, dude. You're really fucked up. You really screwed the pooch, man.
What's the purpose of? Okay, so here's the thing. CNN pretty much was there to like help fund the CIA in the war. Like Anderson Cooper was a CIA agent.
Obviously.
His family is in the CIA.
Obviously.
Obviously. That's public.
Don't ask, don't tell.
But the thing is that at some point you had to turn against your own machine. And the only way for them to be profitable outside of the machine of like giving us the propaganda of the American government, because like Bill Clinton, George H.W. Bush, fucking, these people, when they went and did something, then they would send it to CNN and go, hey, CNN, here's a bunch of extra funding from the government and also say this about Iraq. And they would do it. But at some point, you went against that. And when you're against that, which is what Trump is, then the only way for that organization to make money is to make money combating you. So now the news is literally combative of the White House. Instead of the White House funding it, it's now against the White House saying, you're not giving me money, so here's the questions. So to that, I don't know that I actually fault CNN. It's like they're trying to shame CNN into giving us propaganda for free. And CNN's like, I'm not going to take propaganda for free. If you, the White House and the Trump administration, want to hand us loads of cash like Biden and everybody else always did, then you can get whatever you want on the air. But if you're not going to, then we're going to spend all of our time questioning you because that's the only way we can make money. If you're not giving us the money, how are we going to make the money? We're going to make the money by being against you.
What are we supposed to do? Have fucking viewers? Yeah, right. Can't do that. That's impossible. Report the truth? Have a reliable viewership that trusts us? Are you fucking nuts?
Well, that's besides the point. We're talking about the actual.
Talking about reality.
Yeah, pretty much. How was the show programmed? I don't think that's ever taken into account. The integrity of the program.
I love the checkerboard group chat. I mean chessboard, because it's white and black.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The white people are white. They are not red, as a checkerboard might be. They're white, punctuated with black individuals. 40-60 split. 60 favoring blacks, as it should.
Do you think that's what's happening here?
Look, he's been a motivated anti-vaxxer. I think he's been unabashed about this. And one of his close advisors said when he gets the keys to the kingdom, and those are the words, he's not going to back away from his positions. He's been hardened in these views. I think he's setting up a litigation enterprise. I think that's what this is about. There's two members of the AdCom who both served as expert witnesses in litigation against Merck, didn't disclose that as a potential conflict. We know the secretary had an interest in ongoing litigation, the Gardasil.
Gotta stop here. I already gotten a flag before for medical misinformation, so I just want to clarify before we even get started in this subject matter that us at No News is News do not have an opinion on the skepticism or the ties to aluminum in childhood vaccines. This is purely speculation by an analyst on CNBC. And now for my opinion. Think that analyst is very liberal and we're fear-mongering people in the stock market into thinking that vaccines aren't going to be sellable, which they are. They're going to be sellable in like fucking 3 months. God damn, this is so ridiculous. Do you really think that vaccines are going away because of RFK?
My TikTok got banned and deleted for continuous violations of the community guidelines, and I don't even know what I violated or what I did, and so I'm keeping my fucking mouth shut.
See, here's the thing, that's the problem. This subject is so fucking weird because you get penalized publicly really, really harshly for even speaking vaguely about this subject.
Oh yeah, wait, what am I saying? They already took down my profile. Did that in the wrong order.
So, Kelly, what's the fucking solution to vaccines?
Vaccinate your kids.
For what?
Get risen with autism. Get full autissimo and vaccinate your children.
Do all of the vaccines
Do it.
And go for the autism.
Guys, being retarded is so fun.
Retarded or autism? I thought they were two different things. I wouldn't call Elon retarded. Actually, I would call Elon retarded. Elon is pretty retarded.
Guys, being retarded, the best. See, Alex says things like that to me, and I say, I don't even have to think about that because I'm retarded. And you can use that excuse anywhere you like in life. All you need is a simple diagnosis, and you can get that kicking with a few weird quirks. So,
Well, you can actually get that just from apparently studying philosophy at goddamn, where did that university occur? I think it was Stanford. So there's this big thing that's happened this morning. Daily Wire drops this whole news article. I'm going to give you this one. God, this one's wild. All right. This lady was studying to be a psychiatrist, and she was in a human sexuality course in which she was forced to write and recall her every sexual experience and speak them out loud in the class in a very, what she defined as a very perverse and like incestuous like communal like thing where they were a bit like they were all kind of getting off on hearing each other's sexual experiences.
what's the problem?
That she is just a lady with a husband who is a Republican and probably blonde and hot and whatever else, and she doesn't want to talk about doing cocaine and fucking a black guy. All right, she wants to just get her fucking philosophy degree. Isn't she able to?
You gotta put the time and the work in.
Also, she said one of her professors was transgender and kept bragging about like fucking people during the class or something like that. What do you got with that? Huh?
Nice.
It's the problem. When you're talking about philosophy, rules are out the window and you kind of lose. So
When you're talking about philosophy, you're gonna talk about
pussy.
fucking.
Lots of pussy. Lots of pussy fucking. Do you do gay fucking?
That's sweet. In philosophy, there's a lot of young boy butt pussy fucking. Kind of like Catholicism. And a time-honored tradition. It's what are the pillars of society. The pillars of society were built on. Look it up.
Like, so if you're altar boy, you do the thing, but like, how do you do that in the
Philosophers?
Yeah.
Well, back in the day, philosophers were seen as the highest tier of society. They did not work. They sat around and they philosophized all day, of course. And they were fed and taken care of in order for them...
Anti-philosopher speculations here.
In order for them to fully...
You said they don't work.
They were fed and taken care of in order for them to philosophize so that they had full reign of philosophizing.
Fossilize.
And stop, because you're being so funny. It's going to mess me up. It's really going to throw me off if you keep being so funny. Stop. This is what I'm talking about. Every time you interject with a brilliant, hilarious joke, it just throws me off. And then I don't even know. Sorry, I was talking while you started talking.
You should ask the man.
I'm so dumb. Which leads me to my next point. All the philosophers were men. And so there were a lot of young boys there as well. And one of the cool things that they did was just openly have orgies, because they also a cool thing that they did in ancient Greece was train the boys to be sexual. And so this was in their best interest. All of the fucking with the young boy philosophers and their young pussies was for them. It was like life skills training.
I hear about these things, but like, where are these things written? Or are these just like YouTube videos from like communist Russia trying to propagandize our fucking beliefs in Roman philosophy? Because us muscular American men love Romans because Romans are essentially capitalists, and capitalism is awesome.
Well, we are talking about the Greeks, but this is a good point that you brought up, because I learned this in a class in a traditional education setting. So how can you really trust it? Who designed that curriculum?
Right.
Who was behind?
Dick in a course like that. That's weird. They were telling you guys about this while you were children? I feel like that was a spin.
Well, you said the while we were children part. Why were you thinking about children hearing this?
Oh, so you heard this in a college course, in a liberal communist college course.
Why were you thinking about little kids learning it?
Because I thought we were talking about education as in like American.
Did this happen to you, or were you a philosopher child?
As a child, I was very interested in social studies, but mostly just the geographical perspective, not really the social part of it.
That's what they all say.
I like the geography of it, and then I found out that there's.
Do you feel safe?
There's
We don't have to keep talking about this.
No, there's two other people in history that really loved geography and didn't really love history, and both of them were Alexander the Great, who I was named after apparently, and then Napoleon. So there is that in common.
Feels like both of them knew about history.
No, they knew the geography. They knew like land borders and why they existed.
Why'd you say that they didn't care about history?
They're obsessed with the land border history, not the history of the people inside the border.
You mean they're obsessed with conquering?
You're saying that. I'm saying we're all obsessed with the division of the land. Like, oh, that's interesting that your border is there at that river.
Not me.
Interesting that you people have that thing there.
I liked open borders. I liked thinking about sleeper cells. It kept me on my toes. Of course, they're probably still here, but it's not the same.
Russian sleeper cells are the funnest ones though. Those are the cool ones.
The Iranian sleeper cells are the most fun ones.
There's always some Ukrainian guy with a Ukrainian flag speaking Russian. You're like, definitely be a Russian sleeper cell. Especially in today's world, all you gotta do is just say Ukrainian, you can be a fucking spy now. Like in the 80s, it had to be so much harder to like do that during that war. Like during the Cold War, it was really hard during the Cold War. But during this Cold War, you just come over here and you're just like, oh no, I'm not Russian, I'm Ukrainian. You speak Russian, fucking listen to the Russian top 15. Straight up Russian life. Everybody's like, oh wow,
Straight up Russian life.
He's a fucking Ukrainian.
Donka.
He's fucking Ukrainian.
Forever. Donka for life.
Donkey for life. I don't know how much of that vaccine segment we'll be playing because we're not fucking scoundrels that are gonna get banned. Okay.
Not any more than we already have. Please no.
Okay, so how about this guy? Let's listen to the Muslim New Yorker guy.
There are in the country about 1,200, people who are just wealthy beyond anything, right? Mm-hmm. And in 25 years ago, there were only about 40 of them. Now there are 1,200 people who are worth more than $1 billion and much more than that. That has to be addressed at some point because they're not paying the taxes that the rest of us are paying.
Absolutely. And I think it gets to the heart of the matter, which is that there is enough money for a life of dignity for all people. It's just a question of whether we have the political will to ensure that that money is being spent on delivering that dignity.
Let's
People want to sit here and be like, they're leaving Austin. Austin can't figure out its roads. The buildings in Austin are falling apart. Guess what? Austin doesn't have a weird Muslim guy trying to create state grocery stores. So, we win.
Alex is so mad that Andrew Cuomo
Game fucking over. No, I mean
conceded. Alex really wanted his poster to be worth a few $1,000s in the event that Andrew Cuomo's career continued, and unfortunately,
it's still worth lots. Value in my heart. And he already said he might still run independently, turning it into a 4-person race and pretty much destroying everybody's hopes and making sure the Muslim wins.
Well, there you go. So then you don't need to be so upset.
Fucking amazing. My favorite candidates do that. Ralph Nader did that. Ron Paul did that. Now Andrew Cuomo can do that.
That's so cool, dude. I just base my favorite candidates off of integrity and like having balls.
Oh, really? And then they probably lose that integrity and balls the next 4 years, right? Yeah.
Not so far.
Oh, okay. Well, who are these people you speak of?
Pretty much just Obama and Trump.
Oh. I'm just saying.
What?
The birth certificate?
Okay. I was about to say, do you think you're fucking original? Like, just say it. The drones.
The drones.
Okay.
They should give me more ammo. The drones, yeah. We talk about the drones here.
There's a wild thing happening
We could talk about
across the globe
man.
where
How about that one?
okay.
That one's, yeah, there you go.
Where people are
Mike, huh?
speaking out like a lot of criticism with like a complete lack of experience. So I'm finding it hard to listen to a lot of people who are criticizing every move the president makes when they don't have that's the thing. Yeah. They don't have like a positive thing to contribute. This is how I feel. This is how I feel about Joe Rogan. And I was just talking to someone today who was like, Joe Rogan, oh, I fucking hate that guy. And I was like, really? Why? And he was like, well, because he's fucking stupid, right? He's an idiot. And I said what I always say, which is that he never pertained to be an intelligent person. He's only ever said the opposite. He's never gone on his show and said, I'm the smartest guy and everyone should listen to what I'm saying. It's purely always, I wonder, but I have a curious mind about this and I wonder about this. And so.
Well, the truth is like the Joe Rogan thing, like it is true that he is it's all about being genuine, which like he definitely proved to me with the whole Terrence Howard thing. Like when you experience something like when Terrence Howard was blathering for 3 hours on his podcast, sounded incoherent, but was above Joe Rogan's knowledge base. And so he was like, you sound fascinating to me. Maybe you're telling the truth, maybe you're not. I'm going to bring somebody in, Brett Weinstein, that can explain this to us. And then they had to sit down, and then it gave everyone, including the audience members, the like intellectual knowledge of essentially gathering and reporting fake news, because that's what happened. You had an actor who was essentially delusional, and he did some fucking Will Smith type shit, except he didn't make a video about liking girls. He decided he was gonna like create the next form of energy or some shit, and said some like weird, crazy philosophical stuff and some shit with physics that Joe Rogan couldn't understand. And rightfully so, he just said, I'm dumb. I don't understand this. Let me bring in somebody that does. So for a week and a half, everybody in America was like, this guy that was in Iron Man is actually a genius, and he's like creating the next energy. And then Brett Weinstein came in and was like, no, America, that's not how this works. And that was fucking great, because that like showed everybody how you can just experience something through a show, through a narrative, where you follow along with it. You're right there with him. You are the audience right there with him. So,
I've been seeing this for so long, and since I don't watch mainstream news except for laughing at funny clips, I don't know what is being like force fed to people, but I do remember a time where I thought Joe Rogan was an idiot and I hated him, and I thought that he was getting people to like not get the COVID vaccine. And then when I watched the show, I realized how retarded I was being and how None of my preconceptions were accurate at all. And that was a bitter pill to swallow, that I had been so blind and fucking stupid to just be like, no, I'll never even try that thing, because I'll never even try to watch the show based on principle. And so, like, I agreed with myself to never prove myself wrong. And now every time somebody tells me, oh, Joe Rogan, he fucking sucks, I hate him, I'm like, really? Why? I always say, really? Why? And the answer is never convincing. It's always like, it sounds like I have like invited another person to reflect on why they think this way, and they don't know either. It's so, I feel bad for him. Liver King just got arrested for wilding out, and I just think, maybe this man literally just has a show where he like enjoys talking to the most interesting people in the world. And you didn't ask for any of this extra shit. People are making it so weird. Is it CNN and NBC? Because I know CNN like has like, they're putting it out there a lot, but like, who is manufacturing this strange?
Well, the Liver King thing is really interesting, because my theory on the Liver King is that the Liver King is the ultimate obsession. The Liver King is Taxi Driver in real life. The Liver King is like what we all fear, and what Jodie Foster had, and what Ronald Reagan had, and what a lot of these celebrities end up having, including the people that died that day with the fucking.
What could it be? What are you talking about?
Manson murders. And it's that the way they speak connects in such an intimate and personal way that the person feels that they're intimately and personally driven by them directly. Speaking to them directly, just like the Bible.
Are you talking about Joe Rogan having that impact on Liver King?
No, so listen, yeah.
Oh, okay, because I was like, I saw Liver King's videos and it did not do that to me, but I can respect if it had that kind of resonance with you.
This is my theory with the Liver King. It's that Liver King sat there and listened to a lot of these different Joe Rogan episodes, like David Goggins, Jordan Peterson. I'm trying to think of some other ones. But these motivational types, Christopher Wilkins, another one, Lex Friedman, these people that are kind of like motivated by the context of like willpower. And so those 3 hours that you're listening to that Joe Rogan, it's very much a motivational speaking mechanism. But it's genuine, but it's still motivational speaking mechanism. A lot of the speaking is the same thing as you would hear at a Tony Robbins seminar. And it's basically just saying, like, get up, do it. If you do it as hard as you can do it, you'll get it. It's the thing that is the secret.
Sometimes.
Which, like, the secret is like the philosophy that, like, if you truly believe it authentically in your head, then it has to happen because you're manifesting it.
He has the jujitsu discipline mindset, and
manifest.
That's what he's trying to like put out there.
Drive, motivation, all these things.
Well, he's not wrong.
Listening to it all now, and you're thinking, I'm Liver King. I'm a fucking bodybuilder guy. I'm connected to Joe Rogan in this way. I love Joe Rogan. I want to be on Joe Rogan. I'm going to manifest being on Joe Rogan. And this is the story of Liver King after that. Give me this for a second. He literally spends 2 to 5 years now obsessing over Joe Rogan in a really bad way, because what happens is like it starts friendly but weird, which is like he's buying tickets to the front row and sitting right behind Joe Rogan. Anybody that knows the way that Hollywood works, or how people communicate, or how just to interact with a human being, these people are just human beings. I've experienced the levels of it. Been in rooms with Robert Downey Jr. Like they're just human fucking beings, and that's the only thing you can do. And if they're a narcissist, they'll hate you for treating them like a human being. But that's good, because they're a narcissist. You should get away from them. But everybody else, there's just human beings. Liver King started his venture by not treating Joe Rogan like a human being, buying a ticket for $5,000 right behind him as he's announcing an event for UFC.
That's insane.
Giving him Liver King stuff. Hey, look, I do this thing with my diet. Hey, I should be on your podcast. Now, again, if you're playing this back as Liver King, motivational speaking, you know, Jordan Peterson, fucking David Goggins, never quit, never stop. Get what you need. Well, I need to get on Joe Rogan. But you're not connecting with Joe Rogan. You're treating Joe Rogan as a thing, as an entity. And that gets you to a completely crazy level of obsession where you're literally doing that. And you're just continually, I knew it. I knew they were going to hear him. But you're just continually obsessing with in a cycle. These people told me if I continue to do what I need to do, I will get what I want. What I want this thing. But the problem in the equation is the thing you're treating as a thing isn't a thing, it's a human being. Joe Rogan's a human being. He's not a thing that he's not like you can't get first prize Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's a human being. And if you happen to genuinely connect with that human being, then you could be a part of that stratosphere and get yourself in there. You can't willpower your way into an event like that. It's not like a marathon. It's not something you can just keep striving and get or win. But in hearing Joe Rogan and motivation, I can see how you can end up becoming that humanly obsessed with a thing, which is like when you treat a person like property, and then you just obsess and obsess and obsess. And the last thing is like the last video I saw, fucking Liver King, that was crazy. Because he had literally been let out of prison after getting this restraining order where he can't be within 20 feet of the guy. And he's sitting there on the video. And Kelly, he goes, if you know anybody in Joe Rogan's family, you should call my team so that I can know that I can be 20 feet away from him. And you can see it literally roll back in the head in his eyes. He goes, wait a minute, no, don't do that. Actually, don't contact his family. Actually, just leave his family alone. But I need to stay away from them. So, like, if you see me and you think that I'm away from this man is still treating it as like a person, like not a person. Because again, here's America for you. We've arrested him. We've told him what he's not allowed to do physically, but we've given him no mental stability in the event. This man is left on his own, and all he's being told is, stay away from the thing that you're crazy over.
Hey, what's fucking new? I've been in this situation all the time, and nobody gave a fucking shit about me. Figure it out, guy.
But if you fix it the way you fix it...
Yeah, but that doesn't happen for everybody. He's not special.
But it should be
I'm like,
special there to be special for everybody, which is...
I am drawing a line, and I am imploring the collective consciousness to shift away from pitying these people and placing the blame on others.
It's like not on others. It's not on others. It is literally on a system that is...
Are you getting mad?
No, I'm just saying. The system that fits... The system is good.
Someone else besides me is talking. No, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm done with this cultural mindset of like, actually, even like blaming CNN, blaming Joe Rogan, blaming whatever an entity or any other people for like a collective mindset. Take some fucking responsibility. That's wild. You cannot honestly say Joe Rogan is hurting all these people because of XYZ. I'm not talking about you. You cannot honestly say Joe Rogan is like hurting all. That's what I was saying. Like CNN, I think, or someone.
Not if that black man from New Jersey called Eric Adams has anything to say about it. You ever see the video of Eric Adams where he's like investigating a room?
What's this? A jewelry box? Inside, a loaded gun. What? Your children's pillows? A bag of crack.
So you'll be used to going through the room to look at the various items in the room. You can look in a jewelry box. A jewelry box of this nature, maybe a simple jewelry box, but if you look through it closely, you don't know what your child may be hiding. For instance, a gun could be hidden, a small caliber weapon could be hidden inside a jewelry box. Look at the various colognes and perfumes and photos and pictures. You should always, when your child brings in his popular knapsack with many different locations, look through it to see what exactly is your child carrying in addition to a book. Something simple as a crack pipe, a used crack pipe. Could he have found it on the street? That's quite possible. But this is a discussion piece where you should start speaking with him to find out what is he doing with it. And
I think you should win just for that. I mean, if I was in New York still, I would definitely still vote for Curtis, and it would be really sad because I feel like Curtis, guardian angels, man, like fighting till the last day. You know, Curtis during the pandemic, he ran in 2020 during the pandemic, and he went out with his fucking red beret on and nothing else on, and went and swam in Coney Island when it was illegal to swim in Coney Island. And then the police arrested him, and he made like a whole public display of it. He was just like, "We're New Yorkers, we need to swim. We need to swim, man." It was amazing. And that gave him my vote that time.
Do you remember when they shut down the beaches for like COVID, and then Chris Christie went to the beach by himself? I've been thinking about that so much lately. Like, nobody's bringing it up lately, but he was just laid out a fucking whale, a fucking beach whale, just fat as fuck on the beach and nobody else around. Thank God for this whole COVID thing.
What was up with the paparazzi during COVID? That was some pretty fucking real shady shit.
What?
Like, they had to get out with their masks, leave their families.
They weren't stopping the spread of COVID. They weren't allying with the rest of us
They were
in our homes.
For a newspaper that was saying, "Everybody stay home," and then at the same time they were like driving around.
Buy drones.
That wasn't what they did though. Those fucking vineyard photos.
Safe social distancing in that case. No issue there.
100mm lines. Social distancing. Fuck you. Done.
Were you abiding by the proto?
True. LA had to.
All right then.
Somehow. There was no other way for LA to survive during the pandemic other than to like throw every fucking politician that's post paparazzi. Each week, somebody else had to fucking take carving just to give them the money.
Oh, what a nice time it must have been when LA worried about how to survive when everyone had to stay home. These days, I love Dave Chappelle's joke about West Hollywood. For you cannot burn what is already flaming.
That Jewish New Yorkers, like Jewish Americans, are fearful in this moment of anti-Semitism. They're fearful, especially after the horrific attacks that we saw in Washington, D.C. and in Boulder, Colorado. And they're fearful also in conversations that I have heard myself about life in this city. I spoke to a Jewish man in Williamsburg not too many weeks ago who told me about the fact that he now locks the door that he used to close, that he used to keep open for years because of a fear of who may come in. I spoke to a friend of mine after October 7th who told me about going to his synagogue for Shabbat services and hearing the door open behind him and turning around with a tremor going up his back, not knowing who was walking in and what they wished for them. And ultimately, it's through the conversations I've had with Jewish New Yorkers that I have developed a proposal for the Department of Community Safety that would include an 800% increase in funding for hate crime prevention programs. Because ultimately, we cannot simply say that anti-Semitism has no home in this city or no place in this country. We have to do more than talk about it. We have to tackle it. And that's what we will do through this funding and through this commitment. We will root out bigotry across the 5 boroughs.
He's trying to stop hate crime.
What is a hate crime?
Against Jews. He's a Muslim trying to stop hate crime against Jews. What do you hate about that, Alex?
800%. That's what I hate about that. What is 800%? We're gonna Oh, I tabulated it on my calculator. We can give you 800% more towards your hate crimes. What the fuck does that mean? That is such a strange and arbitrary thing to say.
Did you say
800% more towards hate crimes? What the fuck?
towards preventing them, dumbass?
I get it.
Do you? Because you just said that he meant the exact opposite of what he said.
I get it. I just don't know how you get there or why you say that out loud. I sat there with my people and we decided on 800.
Bernie on Joe Rogan gave me this vibe, but like I watched it and
I couldn't watch it.
Joe Rogan, there's a point where Joe Rogan was like, right, so what do you do about AI and like saving jobs? And then Bernie goes off on like a, Bernie filibustering for like 5 minutes. And then he settles back down. He's like, so I think that we need to approach the situation with solutions that figure out what we're going to do with all of that in a positive way moving forward. And then Joe Rogan is once again like, so then how are you going to do that? And he's like, what? And I, dude, watching it, I was like, and we never got around to an answer either. And it's fine to say like I don't know. I need to come up with solutions. I would like to get a task force together. It's fine to be like, I don't know the answer. Here's maybe you could say how you would go about finding the answer, but like to just I was watching him and like Joe Rogan's framed a question like, if you're President Sanders, you're President Bernie Sanders, what do you and it's much to what we were saying, like, is he like when he had like a rally not too long ago and we were like, is he like what is this? Is he gonna run for president? And then he went on Joe Rogan and Joe Rogan called him President Bernie Sanders. And I'm like, Bernie, for real? LA riots, we learned nothing from Black Lives Matter riots, which is what we did. And it's very much the same. We've learned nothing from Joe Biden. If Bernie Sanders thinks he's gonna fucking go at it again, we fucked up, okay? We should have given you a chance at more than we let you have a chance at.
I'm gonna push back on this. No, I don't think he did.
But
literally, him going on Joe Rogan this week, everything that everybody said, you included, proves that nobody else will be able to do this. The future is AOC, Ramadami, Ramasabadalalam. It's all
Bernie Sanders
propaganda because
should not run because he's too old.
It's fucking lies. And we ate it all up.
He's so old. He's kind of like out of touch with stuff. And I know that people can't let it go or they really want Bernie to like be president, but like it's done.
I think we're just
he should not run. It's time for something new. Sorry, I don't know what you think I'm trying to say, but I think that it's time for something new. I don't think that Bernie should run. I think he's too old. I think that
the people that are going to come up with solutions that are going to be able to deal with in the podcast era are these actual genuine social communists, these AOC Shamadamaling types, the people that are like, let's do
Mom Donnie.
Fucking.
Oh my God.
I don't need to do that. I'm fucking Trump. I'll just make my name up. It's okay. He's Shamalamadami.
You don't need to pronounce it. I don't need to do that. I'm fucking Trump. I'll make up whatever name I like.
Shamalalama. Fucking, he wants to disrespect the city that I loved so greatly for so long with his fucking nonsense. Also,
he's not so
on
bad.
The Boys Cast.
Oh my God, he's only 2 years older than me.
He's literally the fucking you're younger than me. I mean, he might very well win. But the thing is,
He already did.
What he's stating, well, he didn't win. He won the Democratic primary.
No, he won.
And if Cuomo fucking
I'm just
shows
fucking
up,
around.
if Cuomo shows up, he's gonna probably win. But the thing is, like,
Shows up how?
the promises that he's making.
Shows up how?
Decides to run independently. If Cuomo runs independently, it'll be a 4-person race.
You can't like enter the race after the primaries, though.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, like, I think this fucking.
You can.
He's already in it too.
Oh shit.
Oh, there goes our light.
Can you enter an electoral race after the primaries?
Why are you asking it like that? And you're asking it into Google. This lady is
God,
so old.
Alex.
Look how old she is. She's asking into Google, can you enter into our primary? How about this question?
How about you shut the fuck up for once? How about you shut the fuck up? You ever tried shutting the fuck up? You ever tried that? You ever tried shutting the fuck?
New York Mayoral.
How does it feel to be me?